dugouts. They're in the all blue with white and red flashes. England in the all white. It's all very traditional here. Neil McCann, it's quite an occasion.
Yeah, it has. And Lyndon Dykes, I was talking about an aggressive start. He's just absolutely poleaxed Luke Shaw there. A ball into the channel. A big physical challenge by Lyndon Dykes. Shaw down a little bit. He's feeling that one. The referee's just having a word, but totally focused on the ball. Accidental.
Yeah, the great and good are out this evening. Sir Alec Ferguson, David Beckham, both over on the other side of the stadium from where we are. It'll be an England throw-in. Luke Shaw looks like he's okay, having taken that heavy challenge from Lyndon Dykes. He's about midway inside his own half on the England left as they go right to left in this first half. The header from McTominay takes it back into the midfield, back to Hanley, who knew Raheem Sterling was in behind them, so decided the safe option. Another throw-in is taken quickly by the England skipper Kane, who finds Shaw. Back to Harry Kane, glides away from McGinn, rolls it infield to Sterling, who's pinched off it by John McGinn. McGinn's midway inside his own half, little ball infield to McGregor. Managed to get the touch away from Mount. Sterling gets a little touch onto it himself, but it breaks to McTominay, who finds O'Donnell on this near side, and he rolls it back to David Marshall, who has to come to the edge of his box to clear under pressure from Kane. That could have been dodgy because of the heavy surface, because of the rain, and it is bucketed down with rain in London all day today. From start to finish, clearly in a let-up as we head towards the 2-minute mark, and goalless in the very early exchanges here. It's with Aston Villa's Tyrone Mings up against its clubmate McGinn today. Shaw's in an excellent season, pre-season in Manchester United, as he goes back to Mings, who squares it infield to John Stones, who moves it out to that right-hand side for Reece James, getting the nod over on that far side. Foden rolls it back to James and infield to John Stones, who takes it for a walk to the midway point of his own half, and then rolls it to the edge of the centre circle for Declan Rice, who plays it back out to James on the far side. Do you expect a pattern to emerge early on? England is, I think they highlighted the guys beforehand who came flying out of the traps against Croatia, as Grant Hanley as well to shepherd it behind for a goal kick under pressure from one of the men of the match at the weekend there in Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, Phillips busted that anchor roll, and he'll do that tonight, you feel, breaking into those and I wondered what McGinn would do at a possession when they would step up on the deck on Rice, but he's not. He's allowing Rice, when he drops deep, just to be occupied by either Adams or Dykes, and then McGinn's just dropping in right in between McGregor and Gilmour to form a solid three. So a real tactical battle will emerge out here. I think England will get a lot of possession in the full-back area and no real risk to go and shut that down.
Adams on the near side, Mason Mount comes across and takes it out for a Scotland throw-in. They're up the pitch here.
Yeah, good start from Scotland. They look up for it. I said that it would require a bit of aggression just to get in the faces, just ruffle the feathers of the England players. It's so far so good.
O'Donnell's level 18-yard line of England, plays it short to Gilmour, gets his first touch again back to O'Donnell wide. It's a cutback, brilliant chance. Shot blocked on the 6-yard line from Shea Adams' effort. He's looking around and wondering what on earth he's doing there. That is a glorious opportunity. He was just in front of the penalty spot. He swung his right leg at it, didn't catch it as he would have liked, and it was blocked right on the 6-yard line.
Yeah, John Stones just gets a leg there. That was fine in the bottom corner. John McGinn, he just pulled into an area, and then that allowed Shea Adams to drop deep at a brilliant bit of football. Billy Gilmour's involved.
Yeah, they still got it inside the penalty area. It's back to Dykes on the edge of the box, and then Callum McGregor can't make anything of it. Jordan Pickford clears. It's a really good start by the Scots. 4 minutes in it, 0-0.
Yeah, very good start. England are rattled. Steve Clarke is as cool as a cucumber in there. He hasn't flinched, no emotion in his face. But I was just talking about Gilmour's partling that break for Scotland there. Lovely little puncture pass into the feet, and then it was Stephen O'Donnell on the overlap the outside. It was a beautiful pick out into Adams, and that's the benefit of having two strikers there. The initial striker, Lyndon Dykes through the middle, occupies two centre-backs. Adams dropped deep, the cutback was beautiful, and a really good block.
Have to take your chances in these games. The Scots learned the hard way on Monday as Billy Gilmour is penalised for a foul on his clubmate Mason Mount. It's going to be a free kick to England, which is about level on the edge of the centre circle. The left of it taken there by Shaw quickly, but the ref's not ready. Very experienced La Liga referee in charge, Antonio Lahoz. The VAR back in Switzerland, Alejandro Hernandez, to La Liga officials in charge of proceedings this evening as Foden has his jersey tucked over on the far side by Robertson. There'll be a free kick to England just a few yards inside the Scotland half. Over there, 5.5 in England nil, Scotland nil.
Yeah, you don't mind that. Andy Robertson halfway line, just really tight to Foden, just always having his back to our goal and just pushing him away for play. It's going to be a tough shift for our three midfielders tonight, because the fullbacks are staying at home. They're not engaging England's fullbacks when they're getting high up, so they're asking McGregor on one side to go out to that area, and Gilmore and McGinn will shuffle across, and then in the other
Come
area,
on, England.
it's Gilmore, so it'll be a tough night for them.
Phillips rolling it out to Foden, then Kane's caught in the middle of the park by McGinn. That's going to be a free kick to England, and the referee taking a pragmatic view of that at the moment, because he could have felt that was the sort of challenge that was receiving yellow cards in the game at Hampden on Monday.
Yeah, he's lucky. John McGinn's lucky. He's going in there. He's left some on Harry Kane. Beautiful bit of skill from Harry Kane. Just a little Cruyff turn just to pull away. McGinn's left some on his right foot, and he's fortunate to escape a yellow card.
6 in at 0-0. Free kick England. Foden and Mount over it on the far side, maybe 10 yards or so from the far side touchline. Steve Clarke's got a good view of this right behind it. Foden and Mount inspire the referee, moving the Scotland two-man wall of Adams and Gilmore back. There's a throng of players who are in or around the arc of the Scotland box. England were the masters at scoring from set plays at the World Cup in 2018. As Mount takes the free kick, Rice nudges it towards goal, but it was right through to David Marshall. Will get a good feel of the ball. 7 in, England nil, Scotland nil. Long from David Marshall, looking for Adams. It's the chest onto it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, under pressure from Tyrone Mings and also Reece James as the Scots have it up on the pitch again, and they've got a free kick themselves. Phillips has just brought down John McGinn, and this is in a fabulous area for Scotland, level with the edge of the D, over on that far side, and a chance to load the England box.
It's an initial free kick from Phillips, and then as John McGinn falls, he's very lucky he doesn't take one in the head from Reece James. But you're right, it's a beautiful area. Gilmore's placing the ball, Andy Robertson out there. I think Gilmore might fancy this. But the physicality of Shea Adams handling the knives already causing England centre-backs trouble.
Knocking on 8 minutes in London. Scotland have a set piece in a very tasty area. Gilmore looks like he's going to flip it in with the right foot. Tierney standing there with his right arm in the air. And it is going to be he who takes it. It comes. It's going to be headed clear round about the 6-yard line. If it was Andy Robertson who put it in, it's Tierney now. The cushion header to McGregor, out to Robertson on the far side. Flips it back into the box. Dykes flicks it across the 6-yard line. There's nobody there in blue. And after 8 minutes, just over that, it's England nil, Scotland nil.
Yeah, very encouraging. As I said, I think England's fullbacks will get a lot of ball tonight. Our shape is really solid. It's a solid line of 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, being allowed just to stay compact and allow it to go wide.
Mings out to Shaw on the near side. A couple of good moments in an attacking sense for the Scots so far. As Mings swears into Stokes. England haven't started nearly as well as they did against Croatia here on Sunday. The temperature, the weather is the polar opposite just about. It was touching 30 degrees in the Mercury here on Sunday. Blazing heat, blazing sunshine, blue skies above, grey skies chucking the rain down on this Friday evening in Group D of Euro 2020, where earlier at Hampden it was Croatia 1, Czech Republic 1. Long ball for the Scots down the left for Robertson to chase, headed out for a Scotland throw-in. They're actually seeing more of the ball right now than England are. The opening, it feels that way anyway. I don't think the official statistics have got that, but it feels as though Scotland have seen more of it than they might have expected, as Adams picks it up in the corner flag, knocks it back into the midfield, cleverly done by Mount, who's brought down. There was a high boot there as well. England have a free kick. He's such a tenacious player, Mason Mount, and he's a brilliant box-to-box midfielder. You see the work rate from him every single game.
Yeah, I think Frank Lampard was busted with pride in the first game he played in. And Mason Mount, his opportunity, starting to find himself in Chelsea. I think he's a really, really good player.
There goes Sterling. First chance to run at O'Donnell. He's moved infield out to the midfield. And it's Phillips in the centre circle. Out to James on the right hand side. Little roll ball to Foden, level with the 6-yard line, right hand side of the Scotland box. Back to James, and now it's with Sterling to Foden. He dances into the box, little step over, looking for some space. Rolls it to the edge of the penalty area for Mount on the right foot, tries to bend it towards goal. Then it bounces off. The Scottish player behind for England's first corner of the evening, 10 and a half in it, 0-0.
Yeah, really good pressure. What we need to be careful of here is that we don't drop as a dark blue line too deep, because Mount and Harry Kane were both pulling away towards the edge of the box there, so we don't need to drop deep. Just go and engage people. But the pressure on the outside ball was decent. But Foden's so good on that left foot, isn't he? He's helping getting it on that left side and making something happen.
Hit the post against Croatia early on the other day, didn't he? England corner, right footed, in it comes. There's a free header off the post from John Stones, and Scotland survive. England as close as they've come. I'm just talking about Foden hitting the post against Croatia here on Sunday. John Stones free to pull at the head of the goal. And David Marshall is saved by his post.
Yeah, David Marshall's absolutely rooted. That's where our centre halves are, my yard. And John Stones is up, and I'm thinking, who's picking him up? No one. He's up. I don't know if there's a little block. I think Dykes maybe gets blocked by Stephen O'Donnell, actually. In hindsight, watching that there, a lot of ball watching. And there's John Stones. He's up early. He's got plenty of time to see what he wants to do with it. He just tries to guide it. He just doesn't get enough turn on the head. And fortunately for us, it comes off the inside of the post and rebounds into an area where there's a lot of dark blue jerseys, and we eventually clear it down to the danger. But what an opportunity, Liam.
There's going to be moments like that tonight. You expect that to be the case. And if Scotland are to take anything from this match, they will have to ride their luck at times. That's what happens. Underdogs have to do that.
Of course, you have to, but
that's a worry.
Yeah, that's a concern because, I mean, we're not small. We'll get plenty height in there. Physicality was the biggest limit.
McTominay's been robbed by Sterling at the edge of the box. He's now inside the area. Sterling across the face of goal, and Mount puts it past. Two huge chances for England in the space of 30 odd seconds. This time McTominay's the one who's breathing in massive sigh of relief. 12 and a half in at Wembley. England 0, Scotland 0, but the Scots are living a charmed life right now.
Yeah, Scott McTominay he just tried to be too cute there. Raheem Sterling robbed him, and he just fed the ball through McTominay's legs, and Mount's coming onto it so quick that he doesn't have enough time to adjust his footwork, open up the instep of his right foot and put it on target. But again, another clear-cut chance for England.
Scotland started the game well. They've had an opportunity of their own. All that good work to get a foothold in proceedings could have been undone completely there, not once but twice.
Yeah, we just need to calm down a little bit, take this thing out of the game. It was a real fast start for us.
Tierney through for Adams. Adams driving in the England box, looking to find Dykes. Too much on the pass though. It's a comfortable take for Jordan Pickford, the Everton keeper. Comes out to clutch on about his penalty spot, and it stays nothing each.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But I would just love to see Shiano just drive the Tyrone Mings there, just test him, commit him. If he commits Mings towards him, he's an easier pass just to slip it. Plus he adds the time that Lyndon Dykes maybe needs to make that run. But he found another little pocket of space, and I think that's down to how England have started coming into this match, Liam, because they pressure the ball. That allowed Shiano to drop into the 10 position and get free.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips has left his mark, and John McGinn there, and the referee wants to have a word with him. He's had a couple of meaty challenges as Phillips this time.
Yeah.
Actually, it was John McGinn left a little bit on to start with, and then Phillips, just as John McGinn was trying to free himself of the leg tackle, Phillips deliberately hauled him to the deck. So I think he's on a last warning as far as card is concerned.
I have to sympathise there with Phillips, because I thought McGinn was fortunate. I thought he was the initial antagonist there, but Phillips just held his legs together, didn't allow John McGinn to free up. But yeah, broke up the game brilliantly for England against Czech Republic. That's in his game because he's physical. But that was two powerhouses coming together again in McGinn and Phillips.
14 and a half played. It is goalless in North London. And it's back with David Marshall, whose save in Serbia last November is the reason Scotland are here tonight. On this incredible occasion, Tierney's header forward will be passed back to his keeper by Reece James and then cleared by Pickford. First time with the left foot high into the air, drops into the centre circle for Hanley's header forward. Now Dykes trying to outmuscle Mings, but it's the England defender who comes out on top, and down when Dykes, there's a card coming here. Looks like John McGinn's talked his way into referee Lahos's book. It's 0-0. Was involved in the challenge. That was Dykes and Mings who were battling for it. You could see that the referee was clearly pointing to his mouth to suggest that it was something John McGinn had said. Dissent perhaps, but he's asking the question of the referees, the Scotland number 7, but anyway, he has been booked.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what went on. I was watching Dykes going through, so I don't know if he said something on the way past them.
Shea Adams for McGregor, midway inside the pitch. It's Gilmore, first time low ball to John McGinn out wide left. It goes to Robertson, low ball into the box is cleared by Stones. He's put it out for a throw in on the far side of it, midway inside. The England half is goalless. England have had the two best chances. You would expect that to be the case.
John McGinn's still sorry Liam, with the referee. I don't know what's happened there, and we've not really had any clarity from the director, the match director, with any replays or anything to suggest what's going on. But what I do know is that every time that Scotland put the ball in the box, England don't look that steady.
Nobody, incidentally, is walking a tightrope as far as the cards are concerned. As Dykes wins a header, but he's headed behind for the goal kick. But it's promising from Dykes' point of view that he managed to outjump Mings on that occasion. Nobody was booked. In fact, nobody was booked at all in the game at hand on Monday. So there's it's 2 yellows, and you miss the next game in tournament play, major finals play. As we see replays of Gareth Southgate's reaction to John Stones' header, which clattered off the post a few minutes ago. Stones on the ball out to Shaw. On this near side, he rolls it infield to Declan Rice. Taking for a walk up towards the edge of the centre circle, back to Stones, and then out wide right it goes to James. It's offside, driven and forward, looking for Foden, who's taken it down. Foden wide. There was no flag unless that's gone up now. Yeah. It has. That is so late. Yeah. That's one of the latest offside decisions being confirmed that I can remember, and he's only just off.
Yeah, I'm watching him running, and he's made a real good run, an early run, and he gets the ball, but I can see from my position here he's offside. And this is this crazy rule that they have to allow the play to continue and then flag later on. And it's just a terrible, terrible rule that they need to take out the game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're changing rules all the time. Yeah, I know UEFA and FIFA, so you do feel that is something that they have to look at, because someone's going to get a bad injury at some point because play continues. As Shea Adams picks up on the far side, it's going from one end to the other right now. Goalless, almost 18 played. Gilmer in the midfield turns it back into his own half for Kieran Tierney. Turns back towards the England goal and then rolls it infield to Hanley. Short to McTominay, who decides to go back to his keeper. Just feel it's such a waste having Scott McTominay back in that position. He's unable to affect the game. When you have a player of that quality, a midfielder of that quality, you surely want to have him in a position on the football pitch where he can affect it.
I'm just watching Lyndon Dykes has a free header in the 10th position there, Neil. I don't think any of the centre-backs are liking the physicality right now, because they passed them inside there. And Declan Rice was just giving them a reminder they need to step in and not allow free headers.
0-0, 18 and a half in at Wembley. It's England in possession with John Stones. It's just inside the Scotland half. Turns into Mings. To Shaw. Down the line for Sterling. Back to Shaw. Shaw driving towards the box. Mount to his left. That's where it goes. Mount trying to drive it across. Blocked by McTominay at the expense of England's second corner.
Yeah, it took a heavy touch, missing out just as well for us, because had he taken a better one, he had either a shot near post or a flash across goal there. But just a little warning that Luke Shaw will bomb forward, as Mark was saying before the game. He will drive inside. Billy Gilmer just dropped the run and couldn't get back.
They hit the post from corner number 1. This is corner number 2 from the reverse side of the pitch. This near side. It is Mount to take in swinger with the right foot into the 6-yard box. That's better from Scotland's point of view. Headed away by McGinn. And Tierney can clear it forward there for McGregor. McGregor trying to swerve himself away from Luke Shaw into the near side. He comes off a couple of players and ricochets back to Jordan Pickford just outside his box. Just to the left of it as he plays it short to Phil Foden. He finds Mings, he finds Rice. About to hit the 20-minute mark very soon. England 0, Scotland 0. As Phil Foden looks to switch the play out to Reece James on that far side. Back it comes to Stones. And then to Pickford. There's so many Gareth Southgate's squad for this tournament that hadn't even made their debuts for their clubs when England reached the semi-finals of the World Cup 3 years ago. But a real explosion of new talent in the England senior team as the referee blows the whistle for a handball.
Yeah.
And it will be a Scotland free kick just to the right of the centre circle inside their own half.
Just a little pattern starting to emerge now with Foden and Sterling coming inside. I did feel that would happen. So it's really, really important that the three midfielders just stay compact and stay narrow. And if they're dropping in there, then that's fine, we can pick them up. But on occasion, it might mean one of our centre-backs stepping in there just to make up the numbers, and the other two just take care of Harry Kane.
England supporters boo as Scotland enjoys some possession. McGregor back to Hanley. Short square ball to McTominay, forward to Gilmour. It's a lovely turn against Mac. They'll know their game's inside out, those two. As Gilmour finds Tierney, long ball down the far side, looking for Dykes. And then Stones right over the top of Lyndon Dykes.
It's a cheap shot for me as well, Will. That's one of those balls.
Hard.
Yeah. It was working it with Billy Gilmour.
That's revenge, isn't it?
Yeah. Really, really good play. It was short, sharp passing into Tierney. Just then went long into Dykes, and Stones is up early, and you just know he's just going to clatter right through and give Dykes some on the back there. So a really good decision for the free kick, and another good opportunity in a good area for us.
Dykes has rattled them.
Yeah, he really has. He's really mixed it up, as has Shea Adams. Both Mings and Stones are not enjoying just the bumps and the elbows coming across them.
Free kick Scotland. The far side, Gilmour floats it into the box. Hanley wins the first header towards the 6-yard box. McTominay's beaten by Mings though. England clear. Taken down here by Tierney, who volleys for goal, but it's wide in the right hand post. And it stays England 0, Scotland 0, heading towards the end of the first quarter of Scotland's second match in Group D. England's 2, of course, with that game against Croatia at hand to come on Tuesday. They simply have to make that a meaningful game. It's likely there will be meaning on it because the permutations for the third place sides won't be known fully until the group stage is over. But Steve Clarke says they need 4 points if they're going to get through. You have to take him at his word as Mount drives forward, being tracked all the way by Gilmour. And as well, forces it forward to Kane. It's a pure ball from Harry Kane though, and that's allowed Robertson to put it clear into the England half. 0-0.
Really well done, Billy Gilmour, giving away a lot of height and power there, but he just didn't give up on it. He did enough just to stop Mount from marauding onto their back three. Just enough. But it was game. I thought he was pulling away for a wee minute there. Mason Mount, fair play to the young man, he stuck at his task.
It's 0-0. All those times down the decade, Scotland teams have come to Wembley. There has not been a single goalless draw. The previous 32 as Mings collects it and then rolls it out along the deck out to the far side for Reece James. Short ball in field to Stones, who's making a move up towards the edge of the centre circle, left footed along the deck, back to James over on that far side. He comes back to Phillips, who was so dominant in that game against Croatia. He always seemed to be on ball, the Leeds United player, as Mings finds Mount. Mount turning his 18th cap back to Tyrone Mings, who's earning cap number 12. There's a good blend of youth and experience in this England side. Is taken to the field this evening. All of them are at terrific ages, football career-wise though, all in their 20s, in their early 20s. As Luke Shaw picks up on this near side. It's not exactly an ancient Scotland team either, to be fair. David Marshall kind of ruins the average age a little bit as England come forward down the left-hand side. McTominay as well against Sterling this time. He can do it, get rid of it though. 3 England players around him, and he's won a throw-in, I think, down here. Yes, he has. Very good. Much better from Scott McTominay. That nervy moment earlier on in proceedings when he was robbed by Sterling. That was much better defending. 24 played England 0, Scotland 0.
Yeah, well, what I would say is better defending once he got back ball side, Liam, and then he won the ball and in good composure and work out. But he stepped in. And that's where Sterling went the opposite direction. It was a very, very dangerous movement from McTominay because he took himself out of that back three and Sterling went the opposite way. And had Sterling taken a better touch, he would have been in on Hanley 1v1. So Scott, although he did well there, he just needs to stay tight. And that's hardwired as a central midfielder to go towards the ball. In a back three, he can't always do that.
Lyndon Dykes winning a free kick off Declan Rice down on his near side. It's again about 8, 9, 10 yards away from this near side touchline, almost about level with the edge of the circle. In the England half, Gilmour and Robertson are over it. The Scotland supporters sing their hearts out in the stands around Wembley. Majority off to our left as Robertson clips into the edge of the England box. It's an easy header away though by James, who finds Foden, who moves it back to the right hand side of the box for Rice, the West Ham United midfielder. Now it is with Foden, who has his legs flipped away from him. Ref didn't like it. By Tierney, it's going to be a free kick to England over on that far side. They've come here to play though, Scotland, that is for sure. 20, almost 26 in it, 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, Foden didn't like the challenge, but there wasn't a great deal in it. I have to say, Kieran Tierney's aggressive to go and win the ball, but not an awful lot in that for me. But you can see there that they don't like that contact, and that's where I think we are winning that side of the battle. And I think the possession will be decent as well. I know England are popping it around at the back. Declan Rice is sitting in between the two centre backs, and as I said, the outballs are the full backs. But Scotland are in a really good shape.
I thought Jordan Pickford took a heavy touch there, and Dykes was about to nick it off him. He gets away with it. Hanley wins it back off Kane inside the England half. This has been a battling performance by Scotland so far. England, though, are reminded of the two big opportunities in the game. It remains 0-0. Scotland down the left. It's a whipped ball in by Robertson, but it's a comfortable take by Pickford. It will remain goalless as the rain continues to fall from the dark skies above. A huge lit up arch that goes from one side of Wembley to the other. It's an impressive arena, this one. That's Marshall to Gilmour, who has it in the middle of the pitch now in the centre circle. To his left for McGregor.
I think he's starting to enjoy himself, Liam. Young Gilmour, he's starting to dictate things a little bit. He's dropping deep, he's demanding the ball.
This is what it's all about though, isn't it, for a footballer of any age?
Absolutely. What an arena to go and perform in and show how good you are, and you can see he's not overawed, and he's getting stronger within the match.
On ball for Adams, kills it on the chest and knocks it back to Dykes. Right to left of the circle, it goes for Kieran Tierney. He's now got a chance to run forward, slipping it down the left hand side of the box, looking for Robertson, but he's thrown a bit too much of it to Reece James, who just escorts it behind for the goal kick, and it will stay England 0, Scotland 0 on 27.5 minutes. You're listening to Sports Out here with BBC Radio Scotland on digital, on sounds at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland, across the frequencies, on the wireless as well. Throwback fixture. England 0, Scotland 0 in Group D of Euro 2020. A game Scotland can ill afford to lose if they want to qualify from the group stage for the first time in the nation's history. That comes back to Declan Rice, just inside the centre circle. Out to Sterling, Shaw's on the touchline, to his left, 28 played now. Rice shifts it left to right in the centre circle for Stones, down the right hand side for James. He's up the pitch, an early ball. Kane's in the middle, he hits it wide. Flag's gone up again though. So he was offside, Harry Kane. He was the man that broke Scotland's hearts in that World Cup qualifier when the Scots led 2-1.
Tell you what, he's onside as well. I'm just looking at that. That's actually a poor decision. Kane should score. The skip actually just, with the greasy surface, just takes it away from him. But I'm looking at that, and I think it would have been onside. I think that would have gone to VAR. Had they found the net, I think it would have been 1-0 down. The concerning thing for me is we'll get three centre backs, and Harry Kane is at least 3 yards of space there. A terrific ball by Reece James. I think we're expecting England just to come out and play the short passes with Foden and Mount and Phillips coming short towards the ball, but Reece James just got the ball out of his feet and delivered a beautiful cross into the penalty area.
Kane scored 12 times in qualifying for this tournament. England always seem to make qualifying look very, very simple. This Euro 2008, that and the World Cup in 1994 are the only two big tournaments they've missed in the last few decades. Scotland pick up on the left hand side. It's Robertson and Tierney on the overlap this time. Cuts away from his man, crosses the ball into the box. O'Donnell will go over. Pickford saves, and Adams heads wide on the rebound. Jordan Pickford spears England and denies Stephen O'Donnell a A sensational opening goal here in London. It stays England nil, Scotland nil, bang on the half hour.
What a stop by Jordan Pickford. There's a big solid paw he gets on that one. Because, believe me, that's fine in the far corner. What an execution of a volley from Stephen O'Donnell. He had to watch it a long time in the air falling for him. He gets his body over it and smashes it low towards that far post. But a really good move, leading to the cross down the left side by Tierney and Robertson. It was Robertson this time comes short, but there was Tierney. How many times have we seen him do it by Celtic and indeed for Arsenal? And he just bombed, cut inside, clipped a little right foot, crossed deep towards the far post, and there was Stephen O'Donnell. And what a good stop from Pickford.
Superb from Kieran Tierney, superb all round. The only thing missing was the net rippling.
I think when it rebounds back towards Che Adams, it was almost anticipating it coming low towards him, and he just couldn't go up high enough to get the header on target. But a real encouraging movement for Scotland.
Third of the way through this game. 0-0 would be a very decent result. To take back to Glasgow for that game next Tuesday. A long way to go. Of course, as Kane turns and tries to shift it forward, and he's caught his man in the active. Passing the ball towards the Scotland box. Scotland have it, but they've got a man down. It's John McGinn, who's come in for some heavy treatment in the game so far. England players know what he's capable of. As Mount skips away from the first challenge from McTominay, couldn't get away from McGinn, but here they come again, and then Shaw to Foden, who can't control, and it was behind for the goal kick, and it stays England nil, Scotland nil, almost on 32. John McGinn, though, he had a quiet day on Monday against the Czechs. He's been at the forefront, he's been right on the battle line tonight.
Yeah, Harry Kane just raked him right down the back of the calf and Achilles now.
It's innocuous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's actually, his legs following through after he passed it forward.
Yeah, you're right, Liam. I don't think there's anything malicious in it. I think it's a follow through. He's certainly caught McGinn. I was just watching the effort from O'Donnell back there again, and Che Adams is probably about 6 inches away from meeting that right on the forehead.
Well, the Tartan Army, so you say they were off their seats there, but I think they're off their seats anyway. When I look around, I don't see many sitting down. England pick up with John Stones, 32 and a half played, nothing each.
And most of the danger has come from England dropping deep and making runs from that slightly deeper position off the front. Sterling, Foden in particular, Mount, they're coming from the position just in between the lines, and that's where it's really dangerous, and it's really important there that as a back three you're aware of those ones, because they're coming in front. You shouldn't get done by them.
Phil Foden for England, he's right in the centre circle, looking for the big switch out to Shaw. Shaw will control it with ease. Up against Gilmore, rolls it infield to Raheem Sterling. Out to Mount, level with the 18-yard line, he crosses into a comfortable one, it's clear by McTominay. It breaks to John Stones, everyone bar Pickford in the Scotland half for a moment there. As England pick up Phil Foden and James exchange passes on the far side, and it's Foden and Phillips doing likewise. Foden now to Rice. Midway inside the Scotland half now. Declan Rice out to Mason Mount. Back to Rice again. Then back to Mount. They're trying to pass their way through the Scots here. It's a lovely little chip ball into the box for Sterling, who couldn't control again. It just skipped away off his toe and behind for the goal kick. 30, almost 34 played. England nil, Scotland nil, but it's a difficult ball to control because, as Neil was saying, the surface will be so greasy out there because of the amount of rain that's fallen on England's capital throughout the day, and it continues to do so. And Sterling's a lovely little chip ball into it.
Yeah, it makes the moves go on and look, and he can pick little passes, but again, it's that little run from in between the lines, coming from deeper positions, Foden and Sterling. So it's definitely a main threat that England are trying to work here.
Adams back for Gilmore, who's in stop it by Mount. He's coming out on top of that club. Midfield battle, long ball for Kane to chase. Tierney is the covering player. He gets there first and gets it away, but only as far as Phil Foden. Lovely skill away from McGinn. He's away from McGregor. Down he goes. Free kick. Scotland play on. It's Robertson for McGinn. Low ball along the grass out to O'Donnell, who's in Scotland's best opportunity. The Motherwell defender. He was unlucky to see Jordan Pickford produce a superb save, diving to his right. as McTominay plays it back to the edge of his own box. We've got about 10 minutes left of the first half. It's 0-0. England are enjoying 65% of the possession. As it's all the way back to Mings, who rolls it back to Pickford. Adams chases it down.
I tell you, Mings didn't look there. Well, he didn't have a look, and Che Adams had gambled. Had he gone just a little bit sooner, I think he would have got in there. That was a real risk by Mings. Going back to that challenge a moment ago, you said about the physicality Scotland are playing with and aggression, and Foden didn't like it again. What a good player that boy is. He picks the ball up and he can just coast by people. Unfortunately for us, been 2 or 3 round them just biting at his ankles, stole the ball off him. And the referee's been reasonably lenient in terms of the bite that we've put into challenges.
Willie Miller and Mark Haley are back in the studio, and we do have the option to go to speak to them, but there's not really been a break in play sufficient enough to hear from the pair. We'll definitely hear from them at half time as Tierney was down on the far side. He's clutching his left leg as he was brought to the ground by Foden, who's protesting his innocence. Tierney looks like he's going to be okay. It was such a big miss against the Czech Republic the other day. It was Mason Mount actually was the closest England player to the scene. Foden was arguing in his behalf as Tierney won the header. It's a Scotland free kick which is knocked into David Marshall inside his own penalty box. Long clearance looking for Dykes, but it goes out of play. A throw it on the far side to England, which will be taken by Reece James. A short throw, gets it back, then rolls it to Stones, who steps away from Adams and then has it nicked off him. Robertson finds Adams. It was slack from Stones. Here's McGinn at the edge of the penalty area, rolling it to Adams. He's inside the box, being forced outside the box now, and he can't find O'Donnell. And here's a poor ball from Adams, who apologises to his teammates. They're in a terrific position there. It just couldn't open up inside the penalty area. No. John Stones is relieved after that. Nothing H.
Yeah, he got robbed. I mean, he's a wonderful footballer. Like for that, he likes to step out by people, but he was pressured so well from Scotland in the final third, and then when the ball went into Foden again, I think going back to those couple of challenges that he hasn't liked, he was favourite, but Andy Robertson right through the back of him just gave us that chance just to get something.
Scotland in possession of the field with Tierney from the centre circle. Is the need to play in this first half. Tierney sees some space, comes forward, little chip ball to the left of the box for Dykes. Stones going out to cover, Dykes has it. Moving down towards the corner flag on the far side. No ball back in field to McGregor. Takes it down to the corner flag again against Phillips and wins Scotland their first corner of the evening.
Yeah, really good play from both Dykes and McGregor. Dykes didn't have any support, but held it up long enough to allow McGregor to get in touch. When it went back to McGregor, he himself had driven into the corner with no way out, but real good intelligence to be aware of where he is in the pitch. Just played off of Phillips. I guess it's a real chance now from a set piece. It'll be a great time to score, Liam.
It would. Any time would be a great time to score right now. Billy Gilmour over the corner and Swinger coming up with the right foot. Scotland attack the goal to our right. The referee isn't happy with something that are the majority of the players, including Jordan Pickford, inside that 6-yard box just now. This is going to be a difficult one for the Spanish referee to keep an eye on. You do feel every time a ref speaks to a group of players like this, there's always a whistle when the corner comes in. Let's wait and see. There's movement now in from Gilmour, and it comes on top of Pickford. It's a good punch clear out to this near side, and Sterling picks up the scraps and rolls it in field to Foden. First time looking for Raheem Sterling. Tierney's there, and he covers, and he passes it back to his goalkeeper. Almost at 39, England 0, Scotland 0.
Yeah, brilliant cover by Kieran Tierney there.
Long ball forward from Robertson down the left hand side of the box. Adams gives chase for James. See him behind from the throw. Into his own penalty area for John Stones. Short ball to Shaw on the left hand side. England drive forward here with Luke Shaw. Scotland conceded a late goal in the first half against the Czechs. Knocked the stuffing out of them really. Gave it a bad time. England trying to score late in the first half here. Heading towards the final 5 minutes of the opening 45. And it's with Declan Rice shifting it left to right of the centre circle for Stones. Forward to his clubmate Foden. Foden faced by Tierney, rolls it out to James wide on the right hand side. Level with the 18-yard line. Finds Foden, finds Phillips. Foden shifts it back onto the halfway line here for Stones. Stones will use Tyrone Mings inside his own half, and then he flashes it out to Rice on the near side, along the ground with the right foot to Sterling. Shaw for company if he wants to use him. Gilmour's all over him. He was out of play for a throw in off Gilmour for England on this near side to be taken by Shaw. They're snapping in to challenges. The Scots have certainly shown their teeth tonight, and they really do look like a team eager to make amends for what happened in Glasgow on Monday.
Yeah, they do. They're so well structured at the minute, and they're really putting everything into keeping their shape. England, listen, before England scored, I didn't think they were anything special, but we just know they've got so many quality players that they can just inject the pace and change a game in the blink of an eye. So they just need to be right on it, right through the game. But that was going to take an immense amount of work.
It's a loose ball by Reece James. Gilmour picks it up, and now he's found again in the centre circle. Short ball to Adams. It's back to Tierney. And it's infield to Gilmour. Midway inside his own half, Billy Gilmour. And then Tierney back to Grant Hanley, who I thought was one of the better Scotland players against the Czechs. Back to his goalkeeper, and Marshall slices that. Robertson goes after. It's won by Calvin Phillips, though. Breaks out to Reece James over on that far side.
David Marshall's just given Grant Hanley some, just a reminder that he's right-footed, don't play onto the left, not when I'm under pressure.
Scotland under a bit of pressure here. England possession in the Scotland half. Phillips, though, roll it back the way to John Stones. 3.5 of the 45 to play. 0-0. Short ball out to the right-hand side. It's going to be Phillips moving it back to Stones, right in the centre circle inside his own half. Side through ball along the ground out to James, infield to Mount. He's going to pocket the space to work into the penalty area. Calvin Phillips couldn't control it. It's cleared by Kieran Tierney. Dogged stuff from the Scots in the back at times. Sometimes it looks a little bit last ditch as Shaw picks up down the left. So the midway point of the Scotland half, back to Rice. Moves into the centre circle and ushers the ball out to the right hand side for James. England trying to pick their way through here. It's with Mason Mount at the right angle of the box. Adams for company to James, back to Mount. Short ball for John Stones. Moves away from Adams, runs into trouble. Won back by Scotland. Adams and Gilmour did their job. It's now Dykes to McTominay, who plays it to the left for Robertson. He's now driving forward. Foden sticking with him though. Robertson decides to roll it back the way to Kieran Tierney. And then play it to the edge of the box for Hanley. England 0, Scotland 0, 42.5 played. It's now McTominay. Out to O'Donnell. McTominay's decided to make a run forward. O'Donnell clips it into the midfield there for McGinn. McGinn on the turn up against Rice. Rolls it to the left hand side. And a chance for Robertson. Short ball infield to McGregor. Along the grass again out to O'Donnell on this near side. Scotland now trying to pick their way through. Chess-like almost. Here's Tierney. Tierney looks up in the box, moving towards it, getting closer. Now it's Gilmour. England with loads behind the ball here though. Short to McTominay. Out to O'Donnell on this near side. Level the edge of the D of the England box. 43.5 on the clock now at 0-0. Short from McTominay to McGregor to Gilmour. Out to O'Donnell. Good possession by the Scots this. It's down the line for Callum McGregor. Then back to Billy Gilmour, who finds McTominay. Not able to hurt England at the moment, but they have some good ball inside England territory as O'Donnell plays it to the edge of the D there for Adams. He shoots, it's deflected behind. Scotland corner as we head towards the final minute of the first half at Wembley.
Yeah, really good play again by Scotland. Patient, probing away, lots of good movement. What was really interesting for me there, Liam, in the build up the right side, both strikers Dykes and Adams had pulled away towards the far post. That was leaving a big area for our midfielders to drop into, and then Adams pulled into that little space in between the lines and just pulled the trigger on it.
Robertson will take from the near side. The Scotland attack the goal to our right. It is the skipper, left-footed corner. He's taken it along the ground there to McGinn. Back to Robertson. His cross is very deep. Not sure that's what he intended, though Hanley's there. Makes it work. Heads it to the left angle of the 6-yard box. Phillips gets there first, and England clear. It's 2-2 on the corner count between the two teams. It's 0-0 on the scoreline as we head into the final 20-odd seconds of the first half. Neil McCann.
Yeah, it was well-worked short corner. It was a completely different setup. The previous corner, as you remember, they were all surrounding the goalkeeper. This time they were staggered just to work the short corner. But the ball back from John McGinn was not good enough for Andy Robertson to deliver a good cross. It was too wide, it was too much behind him, and that forced Andy to chip it, and the chance was gone, but it was a good opportunity.
It's half time, it's 0-0, and there's been plenty on show from the players in dark blue during that first half to suggest that Scotland are capable of taking something from this game, and you feel they have to if their tournament is going to extend beyond the game against Croatia next Tuesday. They've been superb, but even then they've had to ride their luck because England had two really glorious opportunities that came within the space of a minute. The first from John Stones from England's first corner when he headed it off the post. Marshall's left-hand post, the right-hand post as Stones looked at the goal, but he was denied by the woodwork. Then Mason Mount fired just wide not too long after that. Either side of those England chances, Scotland have had opportunities of their own. Shea Adams had an effort blocked as early as 4 minutes into the piece, and then on the half hour Stephen O'Donnell caught it on the volley, only to be denied by a terrific save from England's Pickford. And that means at half time at Wembley, a promising opening 45 minutes by Stevie Clarke's team. It is England 0, Scotland 0.
Supporting Scotland at the Euros.
Bringing you the biggest talking points and all the action live.
England versus Scotland. Euros Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. This Sporting Life with Tom English.
A podcast of interviews with compelling characters from the world of sport.
World snooker champion Graham Dott.
I always imagined to win the world you must play best you've ever played. All the way through it, I was just solid.
Daily Doyle, the most decorated Scottish athlete in history. I'm new Bob, or newish.
It's a joke I always say for Campbell. I'm going to end up making sit down and watch videos of me like in my glory days.
Hear these conversations and many more.
It's Sean Maloney! One of the ones where everyone was calling out Maloney, he's definitely going to make it. The opposite, really. It probably helped me.
Subscribe now by searching for This Sporting Life on BBC Sounds.
Well, I don't know how you've all been, either at home or out and about, listening in to us, folks. And it's been pretty nerve-wracking, certainly here in the studio, where I've just had a quick check on the app on my phone. I've done 1,000 steps during the first half, which is only about 4.5 kilometres less than Callum McGregor has done during the first 45. He's run further than any other player during the first 45 minutes according to the stats. Right, let's get some thoughts from next door, from Willie Miller and from Mark Haley, of course, in the two opposing camps, but putting on a friendly face in both cases, I'm sure. Willie, got to be pleased, haven't you? Very pleased.
I think it's a very organised performance with a fair bit of aggression, and a lot of belief. Richard, I think that words are easy, but you've got to go out there and you've got to perform. I think the team has performed, exceptionally well, and caused England a problem or two. I think England are making it easy for us right enough, I must admit. I think particularly Reece James, I think he's playing with his slippers on tonight, and he keeps getting himself free out on the right hand side and doing nothing with it, and space to advance, and maybe look to engage with Kane or Mount or Foden and play a little 1-2s and causes problems. But because that is an out ball. Obviously Steve Clarke says, look, let their fullbacks have it, and then eventually come out and engage them. It's not an easy shift for the midfield players to do that because our wing backs are just sitting back. But England aren't taking advantage of it. So, I'm looking at it from a Scotland point of view. If you're defending against that, it's an easy defence against it because he isn't really attacking. Down the other side, a little bit more attacking directness from Luke Shaw. And that would be my worry, is if these two started to switch it on and actually became a little bit more direct and started to link with their forward players. But as far as we're concerned, as far as Scotland's concerned, I think our two strikers are causing them a lot of problems. I think you can see, like exactly why Lyndon Dykes is there, Richard. You know, people keep saying why play him. Well, that's why you play him, because he causes problems to centre backs. If two centre backs are not enjoying their evening, I can assure you, you know about that. And you know, without Dykes there, then I think it's much more easier for these two big physical centre backs to have a nice, easy stroll. They're not getting it their own way, and he's working his socks off. And you know, a perfect foil for him, I think, is Che Adams as well. I just think, and in midfield, it's a hard shift for them three in the midfield area. I would point out that McTominay in a couple of occasions down that right hand side, he switched off once, he recovered well, and he gave away possession. He's like a midfielder playing as a centre back. Apart from that, he's done okay, but you know, two mistakes like that could be really costly at this level. But a very good first half performance.
Yeah, there's certainly been a couple of occasions where Sterling has just drifted in behind him, and Scotland have had to scurry back to cover Mark. From an English point of view, you're making of it what?
Yeah, I think it's an evenly matched game, to tell you the truth. I think there's been occasions in both boxes, and it's been thoroughly entertaining. I think the way that England have played, especially down this left-hand side, has caused problems. As we said, we thought it would with McTominay playing out on this side. But Reece, as well as you said there, Reece James, he's been in so much space, and he's got nobody pressing him at all. His first look is, when you're trying to be positive with this, his first pass is backwards. All the time. You know, honestly, if you're a striker, it actually, you know, it really does drive you mad when you've got acres of space in front of you and you're looking to pass a negative ball. It should always be positive. So that was a worry for me. I think Pickford's, you know, has come to some questions this season, especially at club level, but he pulled off a really good save from O'Donnell. Terrific technique. But as far as it is, the only way that I see England getting in is that's 2 steps in and 1 step behind. You know, as they've got done probably 3 or 4 times, that is their only way I see them getting in at the moment. It's been pretty even, Stephen, as the stats would tell us, with corners and goals and all that lot. England have had all the possession, but they've done very, very little, I would say, to you know, to put danger in where danger should be, in and around the box.
Neil, it is Billy Dodds. You said beforehand you wanted them to summon up that kind of fire in their bellies, I suppose, the Scotland players that you guys had back in 1999. Are you seeing that?
Certainly, we've seen that. I think a good, solid, no-nonsense performance is the way to describe it. I think there's one position that's really helped us out, because I said to you, I'm glad we're playing 2 up front, we can cause them problems. Willie said that they're not having a comfortable night, and I think it's John McGinn, how he's helped out the midfield. I worried that we could be left open when I said about playing the 3-5-2 in the wide areas, and Willie and Mark are right to point out, James, but I also think at some point that we're working well out it, because when the strikers at point are doing Rice, that allows McGinn to get back in a flat 3, and it allows if the ball's worked out to the right, it allows McGregor to go out and help Andy Robertson, and if it's worked out to England's left, then it allows Billy Gilmour to go out there. We've seen him in a number of occasions. It's because McGinn is doing the hard work, the dirty shift, where he has to get back as well, and the strikers have to do Rice. Now McGinn's doing Rice on occasion, but I think it's helping the team because it's flooding that midfield. Yes, there's a couple of times they've got through us. Yes, they've hit the post when Dykes dropped his marker but got a little bump from O'Donnell. But so far, Richard, it's been a real competent performance, and I'll tell you, if we can get them late into the game, you know, you never know, we might just even nick a winner. But it's got, I think Neil mentioned it in commentary, this has got to be 100% concentration for 90 minutes, because one switch off could kill us.
Yeah, and actually, in terms of the big switch off against Top, there has been just that one, and it was for the John Stones header, which he sent crashing off the post. I mean, he had the score there. That apart, they've pretty much held them in. A couple of other opportunities, a couple of offside flags against Foden and against Kane, and of course Scotland themselves. You've got Che Adams with the early shot, which was blocked on the edge of the 6-yard line, and then the big effort from your man Stephen O'Donnell.
Well, I think Stephen O'Donnell's been excellent. I mean, I know his confidence levels hit the floor after the Czech Republic defeat. He's really picked himself up, and I think he's been solid in defence. I think he's been a threat in attack. Fair play to him.
He created the opportunity for Adams. And then he great technique, as Mark said, superb technique. What a save by John Bishop.
Terrific save, terrific work from Tierney up on the left hand side. Great volley. You know, I loved the way Scotland started this game. I absolutely loved it. The intensity, Dykes' aggression with Luke Shaw in the opening seconds leaves Shaw on the floor. McGinn robs Sterling of the ball a couple of seconds later. Adams' chance a few minutes after that. McGinn a foul on Kane. Might have got a yellow card, but he let Kane know he was there. And McGinn is, you know, we know him as a kind of, most recently for Scotland, as a kind of goal scoring midfielder. He's doing the ugly stuff tonight. He's doing hard graft, and he's doing it really, really well. It's exactly the type of performance I was talking about again beforehand. He's really getting stuck in, and he's kind of setting the tone for Scotland in terms of that that attrition, that aggression that they're delivering to the performance, and they're delivering a lot of decent football, a lot of good possession. You can see loads of patience and possession in the last few minutes. Leads when the shot was put out from the corner. You know, that's really, really good. I think the team is playing well. Concentration. Does he mention?
They're grown top, haven't they? Because
they are growing in confidence.
I'd see more of Kieran Tierney in that underlapping role. We didn't initially see the first 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, we missed it against the Czech Republic as well. But Tom's bang on when, listen, we've grown into the game, we've created chances. We did ride a luck when we dropped John Stones, but I think to sum up our performance now, and I'm sure the boys will agree with me, the one that Tom talked about with the eventual shot from Shea Adams that went the corner, we must have had 25-30 passes to lead to that. That's how much we've grown in the game, and the confidence has grown as we've gone along. And we look at real force, but we need to keep that concentration. Don't switch off against these quick, speedy players for 1 second. And I'm sure we're capable of getting a result. Whether it's a draw would be fine, a win would be brilliant.
Yeah, look, if we get a draw, we can't finish second in the group because we can't finish above the Czech Republic because they beat us and it goes head to head, so can't finish second. But of course, it does open up the possibility of a win against Croatia and getting into the knockout stages. That's a long way off.
One half at a time.
Well, exactly. No, I mean it's miles. It's a million miles away right now. But these are the plain facts. The difficulty, Willie, of maintaining that kind of concentration in defence for the full 90 minutes. It's something I guess you had to do many, many times. All the big games you've played, and these guys will know the next 45 minutes are absolutely huge.
Yeah, but they can take the first 45 minutes as an example of, you know, how to play the game, Richard. So I think that will give them a lot of confidence, as Dodgy said, that growing into the game. You know, you're on the big stage, you're at Wembley. You need evidence that you can handle that, and they've certainly gave us that evidence, you know, in the first half. So I think there'll be a good dressing room at half time. I think they'll be confident, not be taking anything for granted. They'll know that it's going to be a difficult second half for them, but I think they'll have hope and optimism that, you know, that they'll get something out of the game. You know, I wouldn't take away from a victory, actually. I don't think there's much in it, as Mark says. There isn't much in this game, and I do think that because of England's kind of a slow build-up, I can only say that if I was a defender in the Scotland team and we were playing that system and the full-backs were getting forward the party about 40 yards out, and then the first thing that they do is pass the ball back, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted that that's the case. I'm frightened if they get that possession and then they start to drive at you and play 1-2s with their front men or their midfield players and try to commit us. They're not doing that. So I think that is a big let-off for us because of the way we're playing, the room and the space and the time that they're getting in the full-back areas. But I think Scotland will come out with a lot of confidence, a lot of optimism and hope, and the same type of performance in the second half. Definitely getting something out of it, and I wouldn't put past a win. I'm telling you, I wouldn't put past a win at this stage.
Yeah, I mean,
Tom, I know you've got so much to share with us, but the players are back out. The Scotland players have just sneaked out. The players
just a quick one. Gilmore is astonishing. I mean, that guy is really loving him. I'm really, really loving him.
And no changes at halftime. Tierney's just a monster. He's a football monster. Right, 0-0 it is. A big 45 minutes ahead. We'll perhaps hear from Willie and Mark, depending on how hectic it is at Wembley, where we find our commentary team of Neil McCann and Liam McLeod.
This will be the 115th match between England and Scotland. It's their 100th in a competitive fixture. Of course, this fixture is always ultra competitive. England have won 48, Scotland 41. There have been 25 draws. England have won 5 of the last 6 meetings at Wembley, the only exception being Scotland's Euro 2000 playoff second leg win here in November 99 we were talking about earlier. The run includes the Euro 96 meeting as England get the second half underway from where we are on the opposite side of the pitch from the technical areas and the tunnel. They're going left to right. They're all white. Scotland all navy blue with white and red flashes. It was out for a throw-in on this near side. So no changes. Marshall and Gold, McTominay, Hanley and Tierney, O'Donnell and Robertson, Gilmer, McGregor and McGinn, Dykes and Adams, England, Pickford and goal. James, Stones, Mings and Shaw, Phillips, Mount, Rice, with Foden and Sterling either side of Kane. And it is Sterling inside the centre circle, back to Shaw, long ball, headed away by Hanley. You suspect the early exchanges of the second half are going to be crucial. It's not to concede early in the second half. That will be a message Steve Clarke's given. But here come England in the box. Shaw across the face of goal, and Tierney's there to flip it behind for the corner with Harry Kane lurking behind him. One of the worst people in the world you can have lurking behind you in the 6-yard box with an open goal. Tierney ensured it didn't come to that. Corner England.
Really good defending, but that can't happen. Sorry, that can't happen. Luke Shaw has just ran right past 3 of our jerseys.
England corner from their left-hand side to put the pressure on into the second minute of the second half. In comes the corner. Foden can get anything onto it. Tierney does though. Flush in the head, gets it clear now. Billy Gilmour's goal side of the Leeds player Phillips, when he shows too much of it to Shaw, and England come again on the left-hand side. It's moved back to Luke Shaw of Manchester United. Back onto the halfway line for Rice. Little short ball to Mount. Out to Shaw on the touchline, and back onto the halfway line again. Declan Rice finds Mings. It is Rice, former Republic of Ireland international, switched allegiances to the country of his birth. It became apparent that he was going to be a superstar midfielder. He was selected by England. As Mings plays it out to Shaw, I'm not sure he'll be getting a pint of Guinness anytime soon in Ireland. As Sterling picks up and moves towards the edge of the box, it's now with Kane looking for a side of goal, rolls it to Sterling in the left-hand side of the Scotland box. Scotland under the cosh. The ball comes in and Robertson defends brilliantly against Phil Foden inside the 6-yard area. These are testy times as Mount shoots from distance and it goes wide. Did Marshall get a touch? Yes, he did. Corner England.
Yeah, really good stop from David Marshall. He couldn't take that one in. He just had to make sure he was batting that away with 2 big hands. I tell you, just skids up the underside of his wrist as well, and just goes past the post. England just starting to ramp up a bit of pressure now. They're playing with a little bit more intensity. But Andy Robertson had a crucial block on Foden as well there at the back post.
They'll have expected this. Scotland will have expected the whirlwind start to the second half as it comes in again from the corner. Foden's header this time though is well past, and it's England 0, Scotland 0. 48 minutes on the clock. The longer Scotland are sitting with a positive scoreline, and 0-0 would be positive coming to England, coming to Wembley. A tournament game, a draw would be viewed as a very good result, a very good return. But you do feel the longer it stays this kind of way, the longer the second half's going to drag on.
Yeah, it'll be a sapping game. I spoke about the 3 midfielders, the guy said about it as well. They're a hell of a shift in there. And you look at England bench, and of course they can freshen up with real pace as well. So we just need to keep our concentration levels, just try and keep working away as a team and try and minimise the space that England play into. If I can go back to the run from Luke Shaw there, again it was just an indication of him scoring McTominay. He get drawn forward with a runner instead of passing on to Stephen O'Donnell on the right back here, and he went with the run. And it was Luke Shaw came right through that channel that indicated Liam, and this is where the concern was always visible for me on Scott McTominay as a right centre back because he's hardwired to go and latch on to people as a holding midfielder. So England are very dangerous when they're breaking forward. They're coming from deep positions. They've got really intelligent players. So that little bit of respite, good save from David Marshall, who's taking the heat out of the game and moving the heat out of England.
The cameras are already with Jack Grealish in the stands, and there was a clamour for him to be involved from the start against Croatia on Sunday, and indeed this evening Gareth Southgate, the man whose penalty miss saw them lose that Euro 96 semi-final against the Germans. As McTominay picks up a loose England ball, gets it back from Adams. McTominay looking to slide it forward to Dykes, comfortable with defending the Tyrone Mings though, and the clearance is out for a Scotland throw-in.
Yeah,
That's his near side.
That's what he does well. Like powerful, purposeful running, motion from midfield, and he just got onto things. He just breezes past people. He actually lost his footing, but regained his balance, and then played a nice little pass through. But again, what Willie was talking about at half time, Lyndon Dykes' willingness to try and go on the end of these balls just unsettles those defenders, because I thought Mings could have taken control of that situation and rolled it back to Pickford. But again, it's a slashed clearance.
McTominay out to O'Donnell on the far side, faced by Luke Shaw. It's a long ball forward. Dykes beaten in the jump by Mings. Heads it into the Scotland half. John McGinn's there, and O'Donnell fires it to Adams. Robertson's in a very good position down this left hand side. He can find him, and he does. Left hand side of the box, a low ball in, which Stones clears. Reece James is under pressure, but he does well. Coolly rolls it to Rice, who puts it clear up towards the halfway line as Hanley beats Harry Kane in the jump. Now it's with Gilmore, who finds Tierney on the near side, and he rolls it back to Grant Hanley. They weathered that early second half storm really nicely. Scotland in the end, 51 in, 0-0.
Yeah, regained their composure, regained their belief again, I think, as well. Now starting to pop it around. That was brilliant play again. G. Adams has done that ever so well tonight, you know, just drawing into the number 10 role, just breaking off with John Stones, picking the ball up, and then his ball out to Robertson was magic. It just opened the game right up. We're just starting to get back into it again.
Stones beats Adams though, the header. Now it's Rice. Out to Luke Shaw on the left. 0-0. Heading towards 52. Rice collects again, left of the centre circle. He's inside his own half. Big switch out to Reece James, who controls and rolls it in field to Phillips, who's got some space. Hasn't been as dominant a force in the middle of the park this evening as he was on Sunday. Calvin Phillips as Foden moves it back to James, and now it is with Rice. He plays it right to left of the circle for Mings, and then to John Stones. Moves it forward to Rice, and the triangle complete as it comes back to Tyrone Mings on that left hand side. The Aston Villa defender out to Raheem Sterling, the match winner against the Croats. Square ball for James. They're marauding forward here, slowly but surely. England. Foden gets the cross into the box, headed away by Tierney. Phillips then, first time ball to Reece James.
I tell you, it's an absolute doing for Callum McGregor and Gilmore in those wider positions on the midfield three. An absolute doing, because the fullbacks are staying at home because of Foden and Sterling's high positions, and it's just meaning that McGregor has to tuck in with Gilmore with the ball centrally and then just bomb out when it goes wide. I'm not surprised that he ran the most in the first half, not at all.
England 0, Scotland 0, 53 on the clock. Is Phillips to Rice. Short ball to Phillips. Where both teams can make 5 substitutions. Usual 3 substitute intervals are available. As Mings finds Phillips, he dropped into that role that he plays in for Leeds United. James back to Phillips in the centre circle. England tossing the ball right now, and inside their own half as Mings crosses the halfway line. Short ball to the far side for Kane, who's dropped back to get a bit of the action. It's with Mings, and then out to Luke Shaw on that far side. Short ball in field to Sterling. England win this group, they'd only have to play 1 game away from the stadium. That's why they are listed as one of the favourites still. Across the UK, they are second favourites, behind France only. Italy have crept up as well, though they've been impressive. As Rice collects and rolls it out to Reece James on the near side. England fans think want a little bit more urgency from the players. As Mount tries to provide that now with Foden, who is electrifying, moving infield. Rolls it back to Phillips. Short along the ground to Luke Shaw on the left. Kane pops up in space, left hand side of the box. Up against O'Donnell, gets it back to the edge of the area for James, who shoots over the crossbar. That is a result for Scotland because there are more capable players in front of goal. In and around the penalty area there, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Harry Kane, all there. Reece James got it from Kane, and he shoots well over the crossbar, and that is the David Marshall's delight 10 minutes into the second half. England 0, Scotland 0.
Yeah, it's gone well over there. It was a good chance, great picking from Harry Kane. And Reece James has got enough time to take a touch, and it's Kieran Tierney actually advances from his holding position as a left-sided centre-back to put the pressure on him. And he's having a little talk to Callum McGregor. He feels that Callum McGregor had gone too narrow, too deep, and taken himself out of the game, where he felt that Callum McGregor should have been in a position to go and press out, but Kieran Tierney just broke lines, and it was his pressure that actually put James under. Enough of a rush to put it over the bar, but we just need to be careful. Listen, we look calm there, what I would say. England are knocking around most of their passes, a player 25 passes, but not really doing anything with it.
Brilliant turn by Adams. He's found again, struggled to get it under control. Gilmour on the slide, slipped, but it's found O'Donnell on the far side. Stephen O'Donnell has been outstanding tonight. Outstanding.
Yeah, he justified his selection, and I think Shea Adams so far has as well. He's played ever so well coming in and retaining possession. He just said a few moments ago.
Flip ball by O'Donnell to Dykes in field to McGregor. Good slight challenge by Mings. Dykes is on two though. He's got Adams there too. And then Dykes at the edge of the box. He shoots. It's blocked by Adams. He can't get under control. Still has it though on the turn, and it's blocked. So unfortunate for Shea Adams. Just stays 0-0.
Just wouldn't fall from him.
Here come England with Harry Kane. He's midway inside Scottish territory here. Under pressure from Gilmour, who pinches it off him. The ref is given a free kick thing here to England. By the looks of things, Gilmour, from where we'll have a look at a replay here, but it looked okay from this vantage point.
I thought there was a little pull by Gilmour on the way.
Has to be a pull rather than the tackle. It's
Kane, I think, just cuts across him here. There's maybe just a little, no, listen, nothing in that for me. I wasn't sure if there's a pull of a jersey, maybe a little entanglement of legs. I don't know if the referee's, I don't know what he's looking at here. Is he asking to see?
Well, Harry Kane turned round and looked at the referee as soon as he lost the ball there.
Yeah.
And he looked the very definition of frustrated.
Yeah, but Gilmour again so tenacious to work back and break up the play. They've got an opportunity, of course, with Mount's delivery. Yeah. If we can see this one out, we can go back to that Shea Adams chance.
0-0, 57 played. It's Foden's ball into the box. It's really good header by Hanley, and it's not going to be a corner either because David Marshall clutches onto England 0, Scotland 0. Shea Adams.
Yeah.
Wow. What an opportunity it was. As you say, the ball just wouldn't settle.
Yeah, he's so unlucky, I tell you, in Lyndon Dykes. It's so much drive about him, so much determination to get onto the loose ball that Callum McGregor has broken up to. And he picked it up, and I love about him, he just took a shot with his left foot, and it was on target, but when it ricocheted, Shea Adams, it moved to be slipped in, and when he spun round, I think he just come off his ankle or something, I'm not sure. And he'd just been aware of the situation and got his bearings a little bit sooner. It might have fallen more kindly for him, but a great opportunity.
England 0, Scotland 0 at Wembley. You're on Sports Sound across the frequencies with BBC Radio Scotland on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Match day 2, Group D, Euro 2020. And it's John Stones in the centre circle, rolling it out to James on this near side. 2 minutes shy of the hour mark. Here comes Sterling. He's managed to wriggle away from Gilmour. Runs into Hanley, but it's going to break to Foden. And he'll play it out the left foot to Shaw, left hand side. Cross comes in. Foden flicks towards goal. It's cut out by Tierney. Only as far as James. Rice. Out to James again along the 18-yard line for Kane. He's on the left foot. He shoots. It's blocked. And Scotland clear. That looked ominous.
Grant Hanley again, Liam, just threw himself horizontally. And that just all or nothing, and he produced a big barricade to David Marshall's goal and blocked the shot. I tell you, it's Raheem Sterling that's causing problems for Scotland. He's darting through the middle, and that's allowing Kane some space now to pull into a little areas that he hasn't been doing in the first 45 minutes.
And here the supporters. As James collects down the line for Foden. Now he's going to attack Robertson. Level of the penalty spot. Rolls it back to James. These are awkward times for the Scotland defence. England are peppering that area just the edge of the box, and Mason Mount drives forward. His cross is cut out by McTominay. It's another England corner as we approach the hour mark at Wembley.
Yeah, they're starting to ramp up the pressure on us, and the fans are feeling it as well. See Mason Mount just trying to get the fans going behind David Marshall's goal, but Scott McTominay did well on the first challenge, and then was quick enough to get back and make the second.
England corner from the left, right-footed in swinger, and it comes. It's cleared by O'Donnell. An England player went down there. The ref happy with the challenge as Tierney picks it up on that right-hand side. Here comes the counter. Long ball into the centre circle for O'Donnell. Couldn't do much with it though. Bounced off him, and it's going to break back to Jordan Pickford at the edge of his own box. He's rifled it forward. He might find Sterling here. Sterling has it at the edge of the penalty area. He's got it on the right foot, looking for space to shoot. It doesn't arrive, and it's past it. Foden's cut out by Robertson. 60 and a half on the clock. England 0, Scotland 0.
Absolute basketball game we've got now. It's just going end to end.
Robertson to Adams. England are going to make a change in a moment. Jack Grealish will come on. I think the one person who wanted him on the pitch more than the supporters inside the stadium was the match director, because he's been focusing on Grealish almost as much as the action that's taking place on the pitch. In front of us here, it's 0-0.
Yeah, Liam was like, just let this.
Yeah, it's beginning right to the right for O'Donnell. Looks up, angles the ball in. Oh, I almost dropped it, Dykes. And it's headed over his own bar by Tyrone Mings. Lyndon Dykes must have thought that was coming to him. It stays nothing each.
We all did, Liam. But what a header from Tyrone Mings. Every inch he had to use there. And Lyndon Dykes is covering his face on our replay because he was right underneath that. Again, what a pick out from Stephen O'Donnell. Just a little clip ball. Just gracefully just punched it into a little area. A little glove shot. And Mings was stretching every sinew there to get a head on that. This game is just breathless at the minute.
Corner, Scotland. On their right-hand side is the attack. The goal to the left. It's swung in by Robertson. Hanley tries to attack it. Dykes is there. Off the line by Reece James. Lyndon Dykes' net-bound effort has been cleared by the Chelsea fullback, and it stays England 0, Scotland 0.
What a good effort, Lyndon Dykes. Just spun on that with the left foot. It almost knocked Mings out. The big fella he realised he couldn't win the head, and he just dropped instinctively towards the back post. And as the ball fell for Lyndon Dykes, he just spun on it with the left foot. Got plenty of power as well. And angle on it. Past Jordan Pickford, but there was Mings. Mings just dropped it. In fact, it wasn't. It was Reece James. Mings has gone central, and if Reece James working back in there, listen, it might have, in hindsight, watching that next replay gone past the post. We're not to know that from our angle. We get rather excited, but so did the Scotland fans. I tell you, the English fans are pretty excited as well, but maybe not so excited that Foden's coming off.
Yeah, it's Phil Foden to be replaced by Jack Grealish. The Aston Villa midfielder, of course, he and John McGinn know each other so well. They're good friends. Cross swords here in North London now though. 63 on the clock at 0-0. Jack Grealish comes on to win his 8th cap. And it's Scotland in possession with Callum McGregor out to O'Donnell now. It's McGinn. He's down on the byline. Declan Rice for company. John McGinn hits the corner of Luke Shaw. Knew exactly what he was doing there. And Scotland have another opportunity. This has been a very good dogged performance by the Scots, but it hasn't come without threat.
Yeah, it's come with real endeavour, isn't it? The performance from the very off, but we've shown good quality as well. Grant Hanley almost got on the end of one corner before that. I just wonder who's picking him up.
Robertson to take, 63 and a half on the clock at 0-0. And it comes into the 6-yard area. It's Pickford clearing with the left hand this time. Callum McGregor with a cushion header down into the ground, but there's nobody in dark blue on this near side. And it was out of play for an England throw-in level with their own 18-yard line, just about to be taken by Reece James. 64 played. England 0, Scotland 0. It's been some evening so far.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant game to watch. It's lived up to the billing, hasn't it? There's been plenty of power in the performance from both sides, you have to say as well. We've had to suck up pressure, as have England. We've gone with purpose when we picked the ball up. There's been lots of composure throughout the game on our behalf. Young Gilmore's been exceptional in his first start for Scotland.
England in possession then, Tyrone Mings, short ball to Shaw. As it comes to Grealish, he rolls it back to Mings between inside his own half.
Welcome to the game, Jack Grealish with Stephen O'Donnell just make him aware that he's right behind him, not going to get any time to peel off and get at Stephen O'Donnell on an attacking threat, just keeping his back to goal. He's a player though, Liam, like Mount and Foden and Sterling have dropped into little pockets, so we've got to be really careful. He's got some ability, the boy.
England possession. It is back to Sterling, who has it, moving towards the edge of the D. Gilmour and McGregor ahead of him, so he turns it back to Phillips, and then loose ball, but Grealish is going to feed off the scraps here, left-hand side of the Scotland box. Moving down towards the byline, and he wins the corner off McTominay. England corner, it's 0-0. Even earlier in this group at Hampden, it was Croatia 1, Czech Republic 1. The Sheik penalty cancelled out by Teresic as England prepare to take this corner kick. Czechs on 4 points, England on 3, Croatia on 1, Scotland nothing at the moment, and they've got a corner to defend, and it comes and aimed for Rice, cleared by McGinn. Wasn't the best delivery in the world, it has to be said, as Grealish collects it on the far side, being chaperoned by Kieran Tierney, who's got all the way to the halfway line to put him under pressure as it's rolled back to James, who turns it out to Stones on this near side. 66 played, England 0, Scotland 0.
As he went for a walk and all. And it's been absolutely amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. I've been watching it downstairs because I can't watch it on my laptop. Won't let me.
Just not getting the trajectory right. His delivery or it's something that Gareth Southgate has worked on, but so far we've dealt with it.
Remember, England have only lost 4 competitive games at Wembley Stadium since Neil swung the ball in for Don Hutchison to head in the winner back in November 1999.
He's doing absolutely amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. I know they got 0-0, but I got bets on Sterling and Kane.
To the right hand side of it, those it bounced favourably for Scotland's defensive point of view out to the near side.
Come on, England!
Phillips in field to Grealish, faced by McGregor. Rolls it along the ground out to Sterling. He's in the right angle of the box. Heading towards the final quarter, it's nothing each. It's Calvin Phillips into the area for Mings, pure first touch, and swept up high into the North London sky by Shea Adams. And into the England half, and it will be turned back by Reece James to Pickford. 67.5, England 0, Scotland 0. And it's with Luke Shaw on that left-hand side. Long ball for Kane, he's made the run, he's on the ball, he's at the edge of the box, rolls it back to Grealish, and McTominay's there to just stretch that long leg out to get it away. Brilliant intervention from McTominay.
Yeah, again, no, it was, but we need to deepen the middleman of the three needs to deepen when the heads are going up. It's the old adage, a centre-back, if the opposition centre-back is his head up, looks long, he automatically drop, but we're not dropping, we're stepping up. And that's where Kane and Sterling and Mount have got in the past. We just need to make sure we're aware of the game here, understand the signals.
Fell by the already booked John McGinn on Calvin Phillips. Free kick England between side the Scotland half is taken quickly. It's with Shaw, now with Grealish. 22 to play. Here goes Grealish. He's now attacking the box, left hand side of it, dances into it, rolls into the edge of the penalty area, but only for Shea Adams to collect it. Adams then out to Robertson on this near side. There's runners ahead of him for Robertson. Yeah, it's hard, decides to roll it out wide right. John McGinn's looked down off.
Yeah, I think we get blocked by Luke Shaw. I think he started outside and ran inside, and he's asking the referee to maybe have a look, but it looked like a clear block. The problem we had there with Andy Robertson bombing forward is I think Gilmour is really starting to feel the legs now, and is McGregor. So it's a hell of a lot to ask these boys to come from a holding position to work so hard and then try and get touch on a counter-attack.
He's so reluctant to change it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I don't think we'll fit a failure at all. As I said, just a few times at the back, we just need to do the right things, identify the real threats in front of us. But so far, it's been really good.
McGregor McGregor's lost it in the middle of the pitch, though, although he's reacted brilliantly. Lovely little pirouette against Mason right now to Gilmour, forward to McGinn. So strong, John McGinn, and he as well to pass it out to Robertson on this near side. Tierney on the overlap here. Short ball to Tierney, passes it back infield. His former Celtic teammate McGregor. Here's Gilmour, then out to Robertson. Billy Gilmour gets it again. Middle of the pitch, and he goes back to Tierney, and now to McGregor. A good respite for the Scotland defence, this.
Yeah, we're getting a little rest on possession of the ball because England are giving us respect now, you know, they're dropping off themselves, they're starting to get into a shape.
There's Tierney. Forward towards Dykes, when he overhits the pass, he was behind. The goal kick. Steve Clark in discussions with Stephen Reid over there on the far side.
Yeah, there's young Gilmour, he's just stretching the calves off. This has been a big occasion for a young man. I tell you, he stepped right up, he's done himself proud tonight. But I just looking at him and I'm thinking, he must be tired. He must be tired in there.
Christy Fleck, Cooper Armstrong, Nisbet, Fraser, Patterson, Henry, Forrest and McKenna are the outfield options for Steve Clark on the bench.
I mean, he's got options, he could put Jack Hendry right centre back and shift McTominay in, or he could just bring on the running power of Stuart Armstrong.
McTominay forward to Adams, now Gilmour back to Adams, just inside England half, right in the centre circle, and comes infield to Gilmour. Out to the left hand side for Tierney. Ian Robertson are here. It's now with Gilmour, then to Robertson, now to Tierney. Tierney elects to go back into his own half, and it's Callum McGregor. Plays it square to Grant Hanley. The final 19 minutes at Wembley, 0-0 still. As McGregor passes it forward to Robertson. Good challenge by James, though, to win it back for England. Now it's with Phillips on this near side. Low ball to the edge of the centre circle for Declan Rice. Takes it forward, passes it to Kane. First time lay off for Mount. Outside of the drink ball for Sterling. Inside. And it stays England 0. Scotland 0. 71 and a half minutes on the clock. Remember, Stevie Clark said they have to take at least a point from this game if they are to stand a chance of finishing in one of the best third place positions. Last time around at Euro 2016, the teams that got through with 3 points had a 0 goal difference. If Scotland were to lose this game, even if it was 1-0, that's a -3 goal difference going into the game against Croatia back in Glasgow on Tuesday. Marshall's long ball with the right foot. Dykes wins the header this time against Mings, but covering his stones, his header away. Will drop to O'Donnell over on that far side. I think Gareth Southgate's going to look to his bench again in just a moment to try and shake the team up and try and turn 1 point into 3 that would put them through to the last 16 ahead of the Czechs' visit here next Tuesday. Foul by O'Donnell meantime and Grealish on the far side.
Yeah, he's got a hold of Grealish's left arm, so it is a foul. That's what you want, Jack Grealish going if you're in a Scotland jersey, going back towards his own goal, away from play.
Harry Kane sweeps the ball out to Reece James on this near side. Now he's driving forward midway inside the Scotland half now. Phillips makes a run ahead of him, as does Sterling. Instead he turns it back there to Rice, who finds Shaw. Grealish over on that far side. 73 played 0-0. Grealish level with the 18-yard line. Short to Sterling in the box. Back to Grealish. Those socks rolled down his ankles up against Billy Gilmour. Grealish short to Shaw. Now it's Mount. Back to Shaw in the box. And he blasts it high across the face of goal. It was out of play over on this near side for a goal kick. It was out by the corner flag. And it's England 0. Scotland 0. 73 on the clock. The television director on the monitors in front of us here has begun the task of trying to find angst-ridden England supporters inside the stands, because it remains 0-0 against the underdogs in this group, and England are going to make a change. It looks like Marcus Rashford is going to come on and he's going to replace Kane.
Yeah, that's a big call, that, you know. That's a big call. Now, whether they're just saving Kane, you know, maybe thinking Gareth Southgate will think, 4 points isn't a bad return enough to see him through, but of course he's bringing on Marcus Rashford here. He's not weakening the side. This boy can run. He's quick. He likes to play through the middle, so it's another threat that we have to cope with. Going back to that chance for Luke Shaw, it's a really good chance actually. They're looking at it in the replay. Well worked 1-2. He's been effective when he's coming in the final third.
16 left. England 0, Scotland 0. ball clearance from Marshall. Drops off Rice's chest to Gilmore, can only pass it to Mings. He goes long looking for Rashford. McTominay gets there first though. Those two have known each other from such a young age. McTominay and Rashford came through all the youth levels at Manchester United together. So that's going to be an interesting battle. I'm sure Marcus Rashford will be eager to test Scott McTominay's defensive qualities in that back three between now and full time. 15 minutes left. 0-0.
Yeah, we'll just get a close up of the legend that is Sir Alex Ferguson there. We're looking at his two Manchester United boys. I'm pretty sure that the Scotsman comes out on top tonight.
Yeah, long ball from Scotland. Dykes with a header. Adams goes after it, but will go behind for the goal kick. Kickford quite happy with that. Mings was marshalling Shea Adams. Looks like Steve Clarke's going to make a change. Such a huge stadium, I can't actually see who it is. Is it Armstrong that's coming on?
Yeah, I think
it is, yeah. England 0, Scotland 0. We're into the final 15 minutes. This Group D clash in North London. Grealish goes down on the far side. And England are going to get a free kick, and Scotland, I think, are going to make that change. And Stuart Armstrong's a good ball carrier, good outlet.
Young Gilmore.
Well, I'm going to take this opportunity perhaps to speak to Willie Miller and Mark Haitley. How are they reading it going into the final 14 minutes as it is now? Willie, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tight, isn't it? I mean, still a superb performance from Scotland, you would say. The hope would be that you can hold on, maybe even sneak something towards the end of the game. A lot of tired legs out there, I would imagine, in these conditions, but still a very even game. Yeah, Scotland's had to defend, but you would think that would have to be the case at some point, but they've done it magnificently well. So far, so good. 1 point, I think, would be a great result. Obviously, the 3 would be magnificent.
Yeah, very tense.
Mark, the captain off.
Yeah, well, not surprised. I'm surprised he lasted that long. He's been very poor over the 2 games. I think Harry has. I think his mind is obviously elsewhere on the domestic stage. But I thought Mike Calvert-Lewin might have just got a jump in front of Rashford. But I think that time might come very shortly.
Yeah, it took a bit longer than you were hoping at the weekend, Mark, for that to happen. We shall wait and see as Scotland pick up with Lyndon Dykes. Goalless here at Wembley. And Mings' header is going to go straight into Scotland possession with Adams on the right. Dykes is bursting a gut to try and get into the box for him. He does, as Adams flicks from the outside of the boot for his clubmate Armstrong and runs into trouble. And really good defending there by Calvin Phillips. He got back in a good position, but Scotland pick up the scraps in the edge of the England box. Armstrong out to this near side. It's Tierney and Robertson. It's with Andy Robertson left footed, bends it in, comes off an England head, back post, lashes it high over the crossbar. Another superb opportunity for Shea Adams, and it stays England 0, Scotland 0, with 12 and a half of the 90 to play at Wembley.
A really good ball in from Andy Robertson. I think it's John Stones that gets his head on it, but it just puts it towards the back post. And there was Shea Adams just coming in. I thought he caught it on the full volley, but he doesn't. It's actually on the half volley, and it just skids at him. And just at the final millisecond, Liam, and he just cuts across it, and he knows he's looking at the sky. I just felt that we would get one chance. I just wonder whether that was it. But he just smashed at it.
Here come England, 78 on the clock. No goals as yet. It's Raheem Sterling, right angle of the Scotland box, twisting and turning up against Armstrong. He's in the box now. It's Sterling. He's desperately seeking a teammate. Goes to the byline, goes down. He's gone down. And the referee shakes his head. Sterling looks at the Spanish official. Sterling went to ground inside the box. We're seeing a replay of it here. Neil thought dive.
Yeah, I thought it was a dive right away. And when he goes down, he's at no, listen,
is he clashed? No, linked his 2 feet together.
Yeah, it's Raheem caught his own boot and Andy Robertson at the same time. Andy Robertson not made a challenge to bring him down. So, if anything, it's not a dive. I think he's tripped himself up. It's an accident. So I'll take that back, but it's no penalty.
Oh, that was a dodgy little moment. At this age of VAR, could well have had a little look back at that there. Not, it's England 0, Scotland 0 with 11 minutes to play.
with a little sub with Gilmore going off, it's just shunted Callum McGregor centrally, which he'll enjoy now, so it's a wee bit less running for him. Armstrong's playing to the left of him now, just to encourage him to just push forward.
Here comes Robertson, uses Armstrong as the decoy initially, still has it as Robertson, brings it back to Armstrong. Short ball for Adams. Armstrong continues his run into the box, comes out wide left for Robertson, then cross takes a deflection. Pickford holds on with Armstrong waiting in the middle. 0-0, little over 10 minutes left here. Scotland have had more attempts at goal than England have, 10-9. Haven't all been on target, but they've been in this game as an attacking force from the very outset, really.
Yeah, we'll be good tonight. I think we'll be in a match for England.
Here come England though up the other end. It's Rashford, right hand side of the Scotland box. Two round them and Hanley plays it off. Rashford now for a throw in on this near side. Still 10 minutes to play plus stoppage time.
Yeah, it's energy sapping now. This is where minds start to drift. The mind gets tired because the body's telling it it's tired. And you must stay sharp. As I said, I don't think we've had a failure tonight with that blue jersey, but we really need to stay concentrated for the final 10 minutes and any added on time.
Robertson's throw in for Dykes, tries to force it into the middle of the park for McGinn, but it's gone straight to Phillips, but Hanley's there, just scooping up high into the air. Inside the centre circle, Rice's header forward. Grealish beats McTominay to it. Rashford tries to get in and can't. Hanley with another outstanding piece of defending to pinch it back off Rashford. Brute strength from the Norwich City captain as Armstrong comes forward up the other end. Short ball to Adams. Phillips pulled out the challenge, the ref allowing the advantage anyway as McGregor fights McGinn. Going for the spectacular effort, a deflection which takes it behind for a Scottish corner. 81 on the clock, England 0, Scotland 0. What a challenge by Grant Hanley up the other end.
Yeah, you're right about power. I'm not sure where they got the agility to do it. It was almost in mid-air and turning at the same time and won it back from Rashford, who would have been 1v1 with David Marshall. I tell you, I know we're tired, but England players are looking a little bit jaded as well. They're looking at each other. I think they're starting to look at the clock.
A bit jaded yet as Armstrong prepares to take the corner. The ref sorting something out inside the box. Stuart Armstrong prepares to take his late heartache against England last time they played them. Armstrong takes the corner. It's a deep one to the back post, headed away decisively by Mings. Grealish gives chase. Tierney beats him to it, but his header will be picked up by Grealish, faced towards his own goal. He passes it back into his box for Pickford, who launches it forward with the left foot. Underneath it there for Scotland was O'Donnell. His header though comes all the way out to this near side for Reece James for England. 8 minutes left of the 90. England 0, Scotland 0. It's England in possession here with Declan Rice, left of the centre circle, moving infield. And looking for Reece James, finding him as well on this England right, this near side. Short ball back to Rice, faced by Armstrong. Into the right of the centre circle for Stones. Clattered one off the post in the first half. Here's James forward to Sterling, looking to free himself of Tierney. It's another terrific challenge. Scotland has been all hands to the pump at times. That was John McGinn this time. As Armstrong takes it for a run down this near side. Checks his run, moves it infield to Robertson. Is there going to be a winner in this game? Scotland have looked as much of a threat as England have at times.
Yeah, well, we're not sitting on a point, that's for sure. You'd love when Stuart Armstrong picks the ball up and just starts motoring. What an engine the boy's got. And he doesn't look quick, but he is quick. Believe me, he goes by people as if they're not there.
83 minutes now played. Goalless. Scotland in possession, as you can hear in the background. O'Donnell, the big switch again. Back to Armstrong. Robertson's out here as well. They pick their way through. Robertson infield to McGregor.
Come on now, just a little bit of magic. The final third, that's what we're looking for.
Change for Scotland coming up. It is Stephen O'Donnell down the right hand side looking for McTominay. It's gone straight to Grealish though, and then put it away by Tyrone Mings. Rashford will try and keep it in. Good defending again by Hanley over on the far side. Wins the header, and Scotland have it in the centre circle. This is not the sprint for the England supporters. When it's 0-0 at Wembley, they're watching their team. They want to see their players forcing the issue and try and win the game of football. Right now it's Scotland in possession and it's Hanley going back to Marshall. 6 minutes left now, the clock's on 84. England 0, Scotland 0. Anything and everything can change in the space of probably the next 10 minutes. 6 of the 90 left plus the injury time. And Scotland pick up a free kick on the far side. O'Donnell,
He's been brilliant.
yeah, tremendous.
He's been
Felt like Mings.
absolutely brilliant tonight. Honestly, his industry is one thing, but you need an attitude to use that power and that attribute of a high level of fitness. And his attitude has been first class.
Yeah, maybe a little bit harsh on Tom English listening back in Glasgow to say that he's perhaps suffering a bit of indigestion from the words he was uttering before kick-off about Stephen O'Donnell. He's been terrific. But there were concerns there, as Shea Adams is replaced by Kevin Nisbet. There were concerns there because he did look like a bag of nerves the other day.
Listen, I know what you're saying. It was just the initial touch, I think, flagged that up. But I didn't think he did too much wrong in the game. But tonight, he's been absolutely brilliant. We just made a change with Nisbet coming on now, and we know this boy can score. Wouldn't this be quite special?
To just Scotland free kick. Andy Robertson to take. It's been level with the edge of the centre circle, a few yards from the far side touchline. It's lofted into the box. It's a bounce straight through to Pickford. No, it's poor. Nobody attacking it. And now Hanley and the rest of his defence have to go all the way back up the pitch. We're about to go on to 86 minutes at Wembley. England 0, Scotland 0. Phillips rolling it out to Luke Shaw. There will be some early moments now. Next seconds. Football in here, ball in. It's 0-0. It's possession with Sterling to Rice and out to Reece James on this near side. Short ball back into the centre circle for Mings. Out to Shaw. Out to Grealish on the touchline. Scotland are back in the game if they get a point here. They're back in the Group D game.
Can't shake O'Donnell off, can he, Grealish? He's going to get a yellow card now. I tell you, Grealish was doing it special with that ball, that's for sure.
He's wiped him out inside the centre circle. O'Donnell takes his medicine. Yellow card, he goes back to his right back posting. But the very first second of the game, the Dykes, when he played one, was it on Luke Shaw?
Yeah, it was.
Near side.
Right
That was in the first few seconds, right from kick-off.
Said it.
Yeah.
And we've never looked back from that, Liam. I did feel that should be part of our make-up tonight. It would allow us to utilise some of the ability that England have, and it's absolutely what a treat.
Harry Kane's not on the pitch. The bad news is England have a free kick. They flighted into the Scotland box.
Yeah, he was doing really well.
Throwing on this near side for England to be taken by Rice. And he's going to keep it for James. Jordan Stones. Now James. On a terrific run of form. Scoring goals, not conceding goals. It's a recipe for success after all. Short out to the far side for McGinn, who has it on the halfway line. The clock is edging ever closer to 88 minutes. England 0, Scotland 0. Foul by Luke Shaw on the far side. John
Yeah, the way it came going in.
Like himself tonight. Yeah, it's a big performance from John McGinn. And I tell you, it's a Scottish flag. I don't know if we can hear it on the radio here. But it's them that are making the noise in here. It's them that's trying to drive their side on to get 3 points. But yeah, John McGinn's been outstanding tonight. He maybe hasn't offered that goal threat that we all want him to have. His power in the middle of the park has been so important.
Looks like he's used the arm to control it. It's going to be a free kick to get into the final 90 seconds of the 90 minutes. 1-0, Scotland 0. 5 seconds here. No matter what has happened on the pitch, it's a draw. That is a fair result. It's a fair reflection on it.
Yeah, it's a fair reflection of the match. We're not just coming away thinking, oh yeah, it's a good point and we've got out of jail. I think that would be well deserved.
Seconds ticking away. Long ball by England. It's now headed clear to the halfway line area for Dykes. It goes down with free kick. The referee shakes his head. One back by Mason Mount. He gets it out towards Grealish on the far side. He's gone out for a throw. 2-2 though. they're going to have to have it's a Scotland throw in, just level with their own 18-yard line over on the far side. Dykes has just get himself back to his feet. Stevie Clark's got another substitute interval.
They're doing really well so far. They're doing so well so far so quick.
Over in the final minute at Wembley.
Both teams.
And then it'll be all eyes on Kenyan Jack here.
I've been quiet most of the time. I've been out for a walk.
Another Champions League final ref. The board's about to go up. It won't be a huge amount of time because England have made 2 changes, as have Scotland. So they've not used their full quota of substitutions. Final 10 seconds then of the 90 minutes. 0-0 at Wembley. Sterling for England. Short to Rashford. Midway inside the Scotland half. It's now back with Rice. Out to Reece James on the touchline. And infield to Phillips. Just 2 minutes being added on. And we're into that now. The 2 minutes are underway. 0-0, and it's England on the attack with Luke Shaw. Midway inside the Scotland half. It's short to Grealish. Little ball towards Rashford. It bounces back off Rashford now to Lyndon Dykes. Tired legs though, he's giving it away. Chance to the edge of the Scotland box for England. James has it. Plays it across. Oh, and Marshall goes down. The ball's inside the 6-yard area. It's still alive, and it's a safety by McGinn.
Sure what was going on there, Liam. It was like a
Well done, lads.
There was bodies everywhere. I think that's why John McGinn comes in and clears it. I'm not sure it's a grand hand. Somebody's lying on it.
Well, I'm not sure what the referee's given here. It was a total melee inside the 6-yard box.
Was he given a indirect free kick to England? Or was he given
No, it's gone the other way. Scotland have a free kick.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I mean, Declan Rice flew in there and then McTominay gets involved. He's stuck in between McTominay. He's just putting his body in the line there, and I actually think that he's given a free kick against Raheem Sterling on David Marshall. He's impeded him from going and collecting it.
Marshall just couldn't get on the ball. He has it now with the free kick. Pumps it out to this near side. It's going to go out to play for a throw into England over in the final minute. There were only 2 added on at the end, and we're 15 seconds into that final minute. It is goalless. It could be an oh so priceless point for Scotland, which is a little over half a minute away. England come forward again though. There might be one last chance for the home team. Here's Jack Grealish on the turn. He's midway inside the Scotland half now. Dancing to the edge of the box.
Oh, played it out there. I'm not sure what he was
He's
saying
got it to
there.
Rashford. Back to Shaw. And then infield to Grealish. One last effort required by Scotland. It's been a heroic performance. Grealish, 10 seconds to play. Grealish is inside the box looking for space to shoot. Still with Grealish. Rolls it back the way. To Mings is at the edge of the Scotland box. Overhead. Cleared. It's all over. It is a priceless point for Steve Clarke. Scotland are right back in Euro 2020 business. After that dogged performance in North London tonight, where they've made every single Scotland supporter proud, they might not have picked up the win, which would have been sensational, but they've picked up a massive point, a point Steve Clarke said they had to get tonight, and they have done so. The England players don't know where to look.
No, the noise is coming from the English fans as well. Liam, I tell you, they're a hard bunch to please. They're sitting at 4 points.
Come on, England.
Southgate the last couple of minutes just telling the players to calm down. It's okay. A point's okay. It's not too bad. But the English fans are battering the English players. And it's our guys that are celebrating. I mean, this is a big point for us. And it gives us a chance. It keeps us in with the hope against Croatia.
Yeah, they'll need to win that game against the Croats on Tuesday in Hampden. They don't need to worry about that at this precise moment in time. This was an excellent performance from the very start of the game when Lyndon Dykes left his mark on Luke Shaw. And from that tone setter, Scotland built their way into the game. And as we kept saying throughout, they weren't without attacking threat themselves. Rode their luck a little bit. John Stones with a header off the post, free header from the corner. Gareth Southgate with a warm shaking of the hand of Stephen O'Donnell, who was brilliant this evening. Had a chance as well and forced Jordan Pickford into an incredible save. Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell are over.
That's it, full time. Well done, lads.
How big a night this was for their young teammate, their youngsters themselves. And what an exciting young footballer Billy Gilmour is on his first start.
Good luck for next time, lads.
At Wembley Stadium. Can you just imagine that? Can you just think about that for one moment? Billy Gilmour game against England at a major international finals.
Yeah, he should suck it up because the boy
Right, guys.
proud and his family tonight. It was a mad
I thought,
a real mad performance. But I tell you, there's not a player in that blue jersey.
sorry for going to that early. I forgot to put the link in before I did this, and I apologise for not putting it out early for you guys. I don't know if it will come into chat. Yeah, it did. I apologise for not letting it, popping it up early. I apologise for that. It will be in the description if you want to rewatch it again. If it will work. Sorry if it don't. Can't say it will work. But yeah, right guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to press a like, subscribe, and